As always, opinions are going to be divergent on this issue. But let's hear what the experts have to say, those who have technically sat back to rehearse and study and research this topic. Gentlemen, Honorable Dial to my left is a member of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Barrister Libros Oshoma. Stop smiling. What is this?
For me, Olu Phillips, really, it's sad. This is the only country where a man will spend 4 months campaigning for an office or spend 12 years vie for an office, and then one day he finally gets it. He says, I didn't know the problems were this enormous. Obasanjo in 1999 told us 200 days in office, power failure will be a thing of the past. And he came. He said, I didn't know the problems were this enormous. And we excused him. You ask yourself, and you are contesting for that office, you didn't even bother to find out how enormous the problems are that you say you want to solve. Now we get the same thing. Oh, I didn't know the problems were going to be this enormous. And so I need emergency powers. And some persons have argued, okay, if you need emergency powers, why don't you just amend the laws? They say, no. If you amend the laws in the event that because the laws they are already, that they are there because they meet international best practice. And so there's no need to amend them. All we are just saying is suspend the application of these laws for Mr. President so that he will be able to work. What you're telling me is that the president is so inept that he cannot work if laws are in place. I'd
like for you to quickly direct some of these things to the APC man on some of these questions you're raising, so that I can hear at least his reactions to see if truly they are not what they're asking for is not the suspension.
You see, that is why they are saying, they're even denying it anyway, that no, we did not ask for it.
Quite frankly, we have to come here and inform Nigerians adequately about the position of the proposed bill. Now, the one thing that we need to understand as a nation, as I said, that every nation, be it America, Britain, every other nation, at any point in time, undergoes business cycles. They have period where the economy will be so down, and they have period where they have boom, a lot of money in the system. Now, during the boom period, what every right-thinking nation, what they do is to save and show up their external reserve to save a lot of money. But in our own case, when we had opportunity, when we had a lot of revenue coming into the country, we did not save any money. Instead of converting our money, saving it, even if we don't improve on our external reserve, we ought to have invested our money in infrastructural development. Now, if you have created more roads, if you have built up power, the multiplying effect of creation of road, developing an area, the money will go around within the economy. Now, when we have a government who ruled us, or who was in power for a period of 4 years, the last administration was the worst I can ever think of. Now, the external reserve of Nigeria, as when Obasanjo came in, was about in the range of $40-something billion. Now, within a short time, Obasanjo left over $40 billion. Yar'Adua came in, it became about $60-something billion. And as at the time this man was leaving, there was nothing left in our... Really? So this put
a lot of... 30 billion was left in the reserves.
Wait, this put up 30 billion and 67. No, I mean, at the point where we were supposed to have a lot of savings. At the very best in time that Nigeria...
Okay, so how does the government, with this proposal, even though now we're hearing that it's a speculation. So let's assume in the realms of speculation, if this is to be, how do you intend, or how the party intending to use these powers to rejuvenate
to rejuvenate the economy?
Yeah, how does this power play? How does it come in? How is it going to work?
Thank you. Now, he came up with a proposal that why didn't they just amend all the laws? Well, I tell you that amending all the laws takes a lot of time. Personally, when you look at what the dictates of the law, or what the proposed bill is talking about now. Now, this bill seeks to give power to the president for him to be able to abridge our procurement process, such that the procurement process, such that money can be put in areas. It can stimulate emergency spending. If there is need for government to spend money in critical sectors of the economy, it will quickly do it without having to wait. And now, when you look at the procurement process, it does not allow competition with the local.
Yeah, is that not the reason why you should be thinking about repealing or reviewing?
We're not.
I think my honorable here really does not even understand the procurement processes. That's why I think he's grappling with what the processes are. As I talk to you now, even the same procurement act that they are trying to abridge, before the Senate went on recess just recently, they amended it. They amended it to increase the powers of the president to pay mobilization from 15% to 25%. The president,
they are thinking
will you allow me? I allowed you. I want us to educate Nigerians. And at least, why the Procurement Act is there? There are procedures. One, before you can award contract, they call it, they are in government, they call it due process. Before you can award a contract, you must have asked for tenders. Right. When tenders are submitted, the tenders go through the office of the due process to ensure that the prices quoted are in tandem with what is, prevailing in the market. And so, once that is done,
not inflated.
Yes, that takes time. Once that is done, then contract have been awarded and mobilization given. So after approvals of drawing, depending on the contract. But here, you knew all of this. You knew fully well that also you will need boards and parastatals to do all of this. The president came. When they won election, we were very happy and we said, this man is going to hit the ground running. But unfortunately, they touched the ground and they were running away from the ground. It wasn't. It wasn't.
How do we
Wait, they touched the ground, they were running away from it. Let me explain how it happened. They came. Appoint ministers, because you can't do it all alone. They were making excuses. Oh, the man is cleaning up the urgent table. He's cleaning up the ministry. Appoint boards that are going to at least run the government. Oh, he's cleaning the ministries. And then, less than 10 weeks to passing of budget, he appointed minister. Okay, sit down, draw up a budget, a proper budget. It became a problem. Padded, not padded, missing, not missing. No. We sang so, and meanwhile, you knew that by virtue of your procurement act, even implementation of the budget will take you some time. They slept, they went to sleep because they knew they were already working from the question, from the answer to the question. They knew that at some point, if they fail, they would just ask Nigerians, give us extra powers to do all of this. You don't need it. Even it's talking about there is no cash, there is no cash. Every day, the CBN keep mopping up excess liquidity from in circulation by selling treasury bills. And yet you say there is no cash. What the government needs to do, the government, this is a man who has been contesting for election for the past 12 years. Olu, imagine you applying to work in channels for 12 years and eventually you are employed. You now say, oh, I didn't know the problems in channels were this enormous. It means that you were not even prepared for the job. And that is why Nigerians are saying there's need for us to have robust debates and interviews with candidates that are vying for office. Let us even know what they have upstairs. Let us know their preparation. Why was it not part of their manifestos? That when we come, the problems are so enormous, so we're going to ask for more powers and see if Nigerians will vote for you.
No, at this point, the
truly,
president,
maybe you didn't. Let me help you. Truly, maybe you guys didn't see this coming, right? Okay, fine. We're in this together. It is what it is right now. And your only solution from your proposal is give us more powers. Is it to raise more money? Or
even if you give them more powers, they will come and ask that you suspend judiciary for them.
Will you please allow me?
Yeah. I was just going to. Yeah, of course.
Because when you said we're seeking for powers. Don't forget that we're seeking for economic power. We're not seeking for political power. Now, in seeking for economic power, we came with 3 proposals. The president, when he assumed office, told us that he was going to fix 3 things. Now, he told us he was going to face the issue of security, which to a reasonable extent, I would say, he has done exceedingly well.
And that's why they are postponing election in Edo State to insecurity.
Excuse me. He talked about Boko Haram. There was no issue of election as when we made those promises. He talked about issue of Boko Haram, and I can tell you that Boko Haram has been, they've been able to technically defeat
in the
Boko
words
Haram
of the commissioner, the minister.
They've been able to contain the activities. They've been able to contain the activities of Boko Haram.
I like this slogan.
It promised corruption, that it was going to fight corruption. This is the very first time you see
corruption has been technically suspended.
Who decided, I allowed you. Well,
okay, sorry.
We had a president who have been able to face corruption headlong. It has never happened where we think no one can go near. It went as far as going to Dasuki Gate or the Arms Gate, whatever we choose to call it. We had a president who said corruption wasn't, stealing wasn't corruption. And now we don't need a college degree in psychology for anyone to tell us that stealing and corruption. Nigeria are wiser now. Now, what if a man has been able to perform in other two areas, and this man is saying, look, these are trusted men. The economic team is being led by Oshibajo, Professor Oshibajo, the vice president, and Mr. President. Based on that pedigree, these people are saying, look, I need additional power for me to function and keep money in circulation, keep money in Nigeria.
Are they deprived?
Now, wait. It is not as if it is a process that they want to.
You see, it's almost like a quiet face-off today, because I really want people to. I want our viewers and those who are listening to really understand, so that we can educate people.
Exactly.
And so it's not much of a shouting thing today, but so it's fine.
It's not a shouting thing.
Pick your constitution.
But before
Section 130 to Section 175, the powers of the president are so enormous.
No one is contesting that. We know that the president of Nigeria has so much power. But what we are saying is we want to abridge the process.
Look,
for example.
Okay, let me ask you. Sorry, let me help you. Let me ask you.
Yes.
You don't think there's we have a lot of slow processing with the procurement?
The processes that we have are not as a result of lack of laws. They're administrative in nature. Take, for example,
so that's
the administrative. You have not even fixed the administrative slow processes. It is when you fix the administrative slow processes.
That's the powers they're asking for.
No, you don't need suspension of applicability of laws for you to fix administrative processes. Do you know that in our ports? Wait, let me break it down for you. Let me break it down. You talk about procurement. Wait, it's not that you're saying grant me powers not to apply these laws for 1 year. That there is an economic emergency.
Hold on, let's be clear. Is that what it is?
What he's saying is grant me power to exhibit or power to allow me.
Exhibit dictatorial tendencies.
Power to allow me do certain things within 1 year and see if the economy will not turn around.
Let him put it in proper perspective.
It is not
power to allow me to do certain things without recourse to the law for 1 year. Am I correct?
You are not correct.
With the process,
it is not as if we are going to.
So then, what are we calling emergencies?
Relevant sections of the law. That's
suspend them so that we not apply them.
It is just about 1 or 2 sections of the law.
No.
It's just section 43 and section 35
of the procurement law. Hold on, Honorable Barrister, hold your thoughts. I don't want to get confused. I'm struggling not to. And I hope my viewers are not also struggling not to get confused.
They won't.
They won't be confused.
Right? Okay, so gentlemen, let's take a little break. Come back. Let's get these things a little more articulated so we can really drive home this issue of whether emergency powers will happen parallel line with the processes of the law, or the law will be suspended for 1 year and the president can take decisions when, how, and the way he considers best for the country. Join us again.